Hello, good afternoon. My name is Regina Ramos Santiago, and in this video I'm going to explain the SIOP model, which stands for Sheltered Instruction Observation Protocol. It was developed by Jan Echevarria, Mary Ellen Vogt, and Deborah Short, and its main goal is to make content more understandable for English language learners, and basically it helps teachers design lessons that teach both content and language skills at the same time. For example, imagine a science teacher explaining photosynthesis. Instead of only focusing on the science facts, the teacher also teaches vocabulary, sentence structures, and reading skills needed to talk about photosynthesis. Now let's go through the 8 components of the SIOP model, and we're going to see that each of them helps make lessons clearer and more effective. We're going to start with lesson preparation, in which teachers plan lessons with both content and language objectives. This means that students learn what to study and how to use English to learn it. For this, teachers use visual aids, charts, and hands-on materials to make learning easier. For example, in a math lesson about fractions, the teacher uses piece slides or color blocks to show fractions instead of only using numbers. Then we have building background. This component connects new information to what students already know from their own experiences, and it also emphasizes key vocabulary which should always be taught in the context. For example, before teaching a lesson about weather, the teacher asks students to describe the weather in their home country and then introduces new words like humid or breeze. Comprehensible input refers that teachers must make their language understandable. This means that they speak clearly, use visuals, gestures, and repeat important ideas. Also, instructions are given step by step and tasks are demonstrated. For example, when explaining a lab experiment, the teacher first shows each step using materials before asking students to do it themselves. Strategies involve teaching students how to learn, using strategies that help them remember and apply information. Also, teachers can model thinking aloud, ask prediction questions, or help students memorize ideas. For example, before reading an article about animals, students make an I wonder chart, writing questions like, I wonder how penguins stay warm. Then they look for answers while reading. In the SIOP model, interaction plays a key role because students learn language best when they interact with others. Also, lessons should include discussions, group work, and partner activities that give students the chance to practice speaking and listening. For example, in a history class, students can work in pairs to discuss the causes of a war using sentence starters like I think or in my opinion. Another important component of the model is practice and application, which focuses on giving students hands-on opportunities to use what they have learned. This involves integrating all 4 language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. For example, after learning new vocabulary about food, students might write their own recipe, read it to a partner, and then present it to the class. Lesson delivery focuses on how well the teacher delivers the lesson. For this, we can ask ourselves questions like, are the content and language objectives clear? Are students engaged most of the time? Is the lesson pace appropriate? For example, the teacher writes both objectives on the board, keeps the students active through short tasks, and makes sure everyone participates in that discussion. The last component is review and assessment, which takes place at the end of the lesson. During this stage, teachers check what the students have learned by reviewing vocabulary, summarizing key ideas, and assessing their understanding through short activities or reflections. This helps ensure that the students have grasped the main concepts and are ready to build on them in future lessons. For example, after a lesson of ecosystems, students complete a graphic organizer, linking words like forest, animals, and food chain. The teacher uses this to see if they understood the connections. In summary, the SIOP model helps teachers combine academic content with language development, so students don't just memorize facts, they also learn how to communicate and think in English. Direct components, lesson preparation, building background, comprehensible input, strategies, interaction, practice and application, lesson delivery, and review and assessment work together like pieces of a puzzle to make learning meaningful for all students. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you understand the SIOP model clearly and gives you ideas for using it in your own lessons. My name is Regina Ramos Santiago and thank you.